Welcome back to Rating the List, where we review, discuss, and reimagine popular movie lists objectively. We're your hosts. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad, and we are continuing on with our holiday list, and we are now at number 8. As you remember, number 10 was a tie, so it's number 8. It's not a typo. And number 8 is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
All right. The Nightmare Before Christmas was directed by Henry Selick, released in 1993, starring Danny Elfman and Catherine O'Hara. The plot. Jack Skellington, king of Halloween Town, has found his way into Christmas Town. Though Jack tries to capture the magic of Christmas, the Halloween Town occupants fail to see Jack's vision and possibly endanger Christmas for all.
This is a super unique movie.
It's great. I love it.
This is one that was actually, it made a lot of the Halloween list too. Because it's both a Halloween and a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it really is. It's well, first of all, it's stop motion animation.
Which I love. Which
makes everything look pretty unique. Like all the stop motion movies are very unique looking. And with this one, the figures are very like dark but then likable, and Jack Skellington himself is
a skeleton.
A skeleton, super skinny, but you feel for him. You know, he's
extra.
He's so extra.
He's so dramatic.
He has this one scene where he's singing a song about how bored he is. He's basically singing about his provincial life, right? Yeah. And so he's like lying down on a gravestone and singing, and he's a really great character. I really enjoy watching him, go through this whole, character arc. I like the whole kind of concept of this movie is kind of interesting. Yeah. About how there's these different towns and lands of holidays.
Yeah.
And they all like don't really know about each other.
Yeah.
And so he basically is walking through his woods singing his song, and he comes upon this circle of trees that have doors in them, and they all signify a different holiday. And he decides to go through the Christmas door, and he's like, oh my God, because it's new to him. Mm. So he's excited about it, and he's like, I want to do this in Halloween Town, and he's like, I want to bring kids gifts, and he's singing the song like, what is this, the whole time, and it's just great. What do you feel about it?
It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun, it's unique, it's a little dark.
Yes,
it's sweet.
Which I like. I always like a little dark.
But it's also sweet. Mm-hmm. It's got a love story.
Yep, with him and Sally. Sally is basically a Frankenstein where a mad doctor has created her, and he's basically created her to be his slave, and she doesn't want to be his slave. She wants to go and explore and see things.
She's like the Frankenstein's monster, except for she is really intelligent.
Yes, very intelligent. The songs in this movie are fantastic.
Yeah.
They're super catchy.
They're all written by Danny Elfman. Who plays Jack Skellington. Yes.
Like the first song where you're kind of like being introduced to the town. It's like, this is Halloween. It's spooky and creepy, but so catchy. It's so good.
The only thing that bothers me about the movie is the insistence on still calling it Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, I know.
He has almost nothing to do with this movie.
Yeah, I think he created Jack Skellington, the
Like, I think
character, or something like that, and
but
that
I mean,
was
he
it.
was really not involved, and it really takes away from
Yeah, from the hard work of all these people who
from the
worked on this
director of
movie.
this movie and the people that worked on it to like assume that he really had. I mean, I think he's listed as an executive producer. I don't think he did anything, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it was just to get the movie watched.
Maybe
That's what they were worried about.
I mean, maybe they all like laugh their way to the bank and they don't care.
Yeah, who knows? But very, very enjoyable, very different type of Christmas movie, but still captures what the sense of Christmas is. And
this was on a lot of the lists.
yeah, I bet it's a good one, and it's kind of relatively like a newer classic.
Right. I mean, it's kind of weird thinking it'll be 30 years old next year.
Yeah, this was
1993.
It's the year we graduated high school.
Yeah, it's been 30 years, huh?
Oh my God. That's insane. That's insane. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like that because it's stop motion animation, so it's not really dated. It's really
timeless too.
Very timeless. Yeah.
Like this is not a movie that you're gonna like watch like in 50 years and think this is really dated. Mm-hmm. I think people are gonna continue to watch this because stop motion as an art is really like there really isn't a ton of it these days. The problem with it is it takes a very, very long time to do. Like a movie like this, I think this movie is like maybe like 100 minutes.
Yeah, it's not very long.
It's not very long at all. These kinds of movies typically take about 2 to 3 years to make. So basically stop motion is, you're making one movement for every frame. Mm-hmm. So you make a movement, click, movement, click, movement, click. It takes a really, really long time to shoot that way.
But you know what? It's such a cool way to tell a story. It's like, I don't know, you guys, if you have seen Kubo and the Two Strings, that's probably my favorite.
Or anything by that studio. It's Laika.
Laika Studios.
They make a lot of cool stuff.
It's really great, and the story is really good. Coraline is also very good. If you like dark, it's also a very good dark story.
Yeah. The only other studio that really does this with any regularity is Aardman. But even they're not doing it 100%. Like a lot of the stuff they're doing is CGI that looks like.
Well, I can imagine it's probably pretty expensive to make as well.
Well, what they typically do is they make a bunch of figurines with like different movements, and they like.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they have
probably takes less time.
Yeah, it cuts down the time, but then you've got like a whole bunch of pieces that you had to do. What they used to do before was like it would just basically be like almost like a figurine, and they would with articulation, and they would move it. Now they're kind of they change the pieces on it. So the arm movements and stuff like that. So that helps them a little bit, but it's such a cool art form. It's such a cool way to animate. It used to be a big special effects tool too. So if you've seen any of the original Star Wars movies, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, there's a lot of it in there. Ray Harryhausen is kind of known as like the godfather of stop motion. If you've ever seen any of Jason and the Argonauts, those kinds of movies.
Clash of the Titans. They have tons of that kind of work. You can kind of see it because it looks a little choppy. Yeah, it's a little dated, but at the time it was state of the art. Like for sure. The probably the apex of it you see in like there's not a ton of it in Return of the Jedi. I would say the stuff you see in Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. So with the Tauntaun and Empire Strikes Back, that the walkers on Hoth. Yep. Incredible. That's all stop motion work to make them, basically move. Yeah, I don't have a ton more to say about this one. It's really good. Definitely check it out. It's a fun movie. I hadn't seen it in a really, really long time. Probably about
close to 20 years, I would say. It's the last time I watched it, so it was fun to revisit it.
Yeah, it really was. So please check it out. It's great. Get the kids, put them in front of the TV, and watch this together. It's great. It's on Disney Plus, so it's, you know, if you have that service, it's free. Yeah, and I think that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was our number 8. Stay tuned for number 7. This is Rating the List. We'll see you next time. I'm Jerry.
I'm Brad.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.